All right, we're live. It's GloucesterCast 373.
I
Thankfully,
believe it, yeah.
we made it. The countdown. We may have to do.
How many before 422, right?
Oh, we just did that, yeah, we did that calculation. Oh, 73, we,
73.
27,
Oh, okay, right.
right?
Duh.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to do any math right now.
No math coming from Chris.
The air's different in this room, Kim.
Yeah,
No.
Could have possibly affected. Back to you, boss.
yeah.
That's
Is this your show, Joe?
We just started right in.
well, it's been a while since we've been together.
It has been, a lot's happened.
It's been a while since we did the polar plunge.
I'm Jim.
Chris, how you doing,
Oh,
man?
so good to see you.
We'll do
Nice to meet you, Chris.
We'll do our introductions.
Yeah.
Tim Smith is with us.
Good morning.
Jimmy Dalpiaz is with
Good
us.
morning, happy new year, boss.
Chris McCarthy, fresh off his Norwalk virus cruise,
Good morning, Gloucester.
is with us. Pat
Happy birthday,
Good
Joe, by the
morning.
way.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
And Ralph is on assignment. We didn't
Some
give him an
restaurant.
assignment, but he went on it. That's what it says on his time card.
Oh,
Some restaurant.
Yeah,
Maybe he's at lunch at iPosse.
that's probably
Did you
it.
end up going?
Yeah, we can add that to the show.
Oh, that's a
Definitely
great
talk-
idea.
we'll
I'd
definitely
love to
talk
hear about that.
policy, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
you're gonna give that guy a lot of business. Tony's gonna get a lot of business, I think, out of us.
Good guy, great family.
Oh, such a nice,
Chris,
so nice.
For the.
They think you're crazy.
Oh, they got you here? Everybody knows that. Right now, his crazy factor is just diminished because I think he is suffering from post-alcohol poisoning syndrome.
Alcohol
And
and
maybe a little
food.
sun poisoning
And food.
perhaps.
Yeah, not necessarily sun
Okay.
poisoning, but
Did you
yeah,
get
food
food
and
poisoning?
alcohol.
Did you get
No.
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 Okay.
So it's an all-inclusive cruise?
Yeah, all you can eat. We did buy the drink package, but we
Of course you did.
discovered the fourth day in that while it sounds great, you get this drink package, they shut you down after 15 drinks.
A day?
Yeah, a
Per
day.
person?
From 6 a.m. in the
Per
morning.
person or per family?
Per person.
Oh.
Per person.
And you hit that? By the
Yeah,
way,
that's how you
I'm
describe
gonna,
it. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna transition over to the scene because you sent me this picture. So this is a picture of the deck.
Of the-
So if you count the amount of people and the amount of space in between the
Oh,
people,
yeah.
that's all
Good
hello,
morning.
how are you? There's some fans out there. This looks like my worst nightmare. This looks like a
Joey's
pool.
getting itchy just.
I'm getting
Is
itchy.
that the picture of the pool? I can't
It's the
tell.
pool.
Oh,
This is as
And there's
we were
about
pulling out.
5,000
The
people
teeny-weeny
in this
pool.
dinky little pool that's got, I can't even imagine what kind of bacteria is growing in that pool.
Looks like a wading pool.
That is the one disadvantage of cruising is the pools are small for the number of people on the cruise. I mean, there was, I think, 3,500 people.
Did you go in the pool?
I did.
I wouldn't
The
go.
only reason why is because that salt water, they
Oh, it's
Oh,
constantly
it's pumped
flushing
in?
through?
constantly
Oh.
flushing through.
Okay.
Not to say that there aren't like short and curlies floating on the top,
Oh.
but at least
Is that why more people jump off the boat now? Because they're saying, hey, the pool's too crowded, I'm going in here.
Look.
no,
at
but it
that.
is pretty cool that it is salt water and they have it
Oh, that's
constantly
Mhm.
filtering through,
Right.
basically pulling the ocean water in.
That's
It's just that
No, I know.
the thing that I'm looking at right now is the amount of people jammed in close to each other. And these don't look like well-heeled people. These look like
Open wounds.
open Midwest scourge of the air.
Oh,
They haven't hit their 15 drink cutoff.
Yeah.
I'm looking at, yes.
I mean, I don't know.
There were two pools.
Yeah. Do they have one
You're
that
looking
you
at the
get
main
more
pool.
exclusive pool? You don't have to sit with the masses?
That's the main pool,
Uh,
that tiny thing is.
That is the main pool. That's the main Lido deck. They
What is
do have
that
a
other
pool
one?
in the very back. In the
He
very
got
back.
it was a family package for $350 for a week, so he couldn't
Yeah,
resist.
right.
He couldn't resist.
I wish 350,
Oh,
but
no, so you just, no,
times
that's
3,000. No,
Wow.
yeah, but it's
Okay,
well,
something if you
it's
had
well
fun,
worth it. It's
yeah.
fun. Yeah, I
So you
would- I
thought the
wouldn't
drink
cruise
package
every
was
year.
worth it?
I think so. When you do,
I heard some discussion about that, so I was wondering.
yeah, when you do the math, when we did our math, I think, I mean, maybe it was like a break even.
Mm-hmm.
No one really won. We
Yeah,
didn't win.
okay.
Carnival didn't win.
Okay.
But for the most part, we took full advantage of the,
So do you think that
if you're
you
not a
ate
heavy
and drank?
drinker,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not a heavy drinker, then
Probably not a
Did
good
they
idea.
serve-
not a good
They
idea.
serve very Clico.
There.
Did you,
Practice.
do you feel like you ate and drank way more because you knew it was all included?
Yes,
Definitely.
yeah, definitely.
You
Yeah, I was eating stuff that I normally don't eat, like, I just go up to the burger bar and grab a big thing of french
Stuff
fries.
it in your face.
And I had just eaten it an hour prior.
Yeah.
But back to the drink package, the one thing I didn't like, but it was kind of a savior, is they measure everything out. So you're only getting basically 1 ounce
Yeah.
of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
But they're doing you a favor because
Oh, yeah.
the amount of, you're sitting in the sun, you know, if
I'm
they
gonna
were
give
serving.
a plug for Kate's company. With, Hard Rock,
Oh, yeah,
with the drinks that they give you there, they're not measuring.
no,
And they have some top shelf liquor.
Yep.
And the service is fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of chairs, and you're not in a stinky pool.
no. Yeah, I'm sorry, I love Kate's company, but any of those resorts, you know, I sat on my chair and observed a number of people in the pool for multiple hours that did not get out of the pool.
So his theory is that everybody's peeing in the pool.
Oh, guaranteed,
That's his theory.
guaranteed. I've traveled with people, we have friends,
That will admit
some may be actually viewing this
They
right
say,
now.
they say Russ does not get out of the pool, he
Not
pees in the
necessarily Russ, there's some females that I know
Ooh.
that,
What?
yeah.
Kim to Georgia?
No, no.
She,
Absolutely.
I don't have proof that she is one of them, but there are some people that you know that I've traveled with that think it's okay to, you know, be sitting at the pool bar
He's talking about his wife.
and just peeing. No, it's not Kim, it's not Kim.
You need to announce that we're in the 1620. So
Oh,
people
thank
are
you,
looking,
yes,
and I see there's a comment.
yes, well,
They
Derek,
think, well, people thought you cleaned up the dock.
no,
I'm reading the comments.
there's not
Wall
enough,
down.
there's not enough cleaning solution and paint and glass to transform the wharf. We need to thank Eric Archer who invited us to tape here, and in the winter, we're gonna take advantage of this beautiful space.
Oh my God,
And he-
it's wonderful.
And he said they want people to come in here and tape shows, so if you are a content creator, you should come down, the space is,
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing, it's
beautiful.
open and light and.
They've done a tremendous job in here, it's really beautiful.
it's a
So,
dream,
The colors, the color selection.
The light.
The light.
because as you know, as a photographer,
Yeah, the look,
lighting is everything,
everything, look at the floors, they're so beautiful.
yeah.
And Eric was pointing out they have a much larger conference room studio now.
Yeah. They're putting in-
Conference room and bigger studio.
You know, I thought because we have 5 of us, I didn't know if we were gonna be able to fit in this studio.
Yeah, this
As
is,
it turns out, it worked
I
out
think this is
perfectly,
perfect.
but if we had more, we could use that back room.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
They were putting in some doors there today,
This room that we have, I mean, what a view of City Hall.
yeah,
Sun and-
I would
It's
turn that
perfect.
camera around, but it's really nice because you see a ton of people walking by.
Oh, yeah, what a busy street this
They
is.
should
We
put a,
can get Mayor Spotty to come on over.
there you go.
John.
Yeah,
They should put a speaker outside
take
so
over,
people
everyone
can
get a word in edgewise
Do
for
we need to
45
mention
minutes.
this is on Pleasant Street, or does everybody already know that?
It's on Pleasant Street, right,
Now they know.
Now they know,
11
just
Pleasant.
slid it in there.
Yeah.
This is
11?
11
Okay.
Pleasant
Why,
Street.
did you put your GPS?
No, I came through and there's a sign in the because I came in through the mall and said, you must
Oh.
enter at 11 Pleasant Street.
Oh, really?
They can get in through the mall. I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
well, you can, but then you have to go back outside and then come around.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
So if you come down Middle Street and you go as far as you can on the one way, you basically drive into,
Right into
you crash into it.
crash into it.
Yeah,
That's what we
please
have.
don't do that today.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen, that would suck.
That's-
But yeah, no, we have a lot of topics today. The polar plunge, Jimmy and I did it, it was a low turnout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed
Do
that.
you think it was because of the wind? It was
That's
so
what I
windy.
thought the wind really
I
discouraged
don't think,
people.
I think
It was
that,
cold,
Cool.
I don't
the
wanna
wind was very cold,
sound,
the air wasn't bad.
I don't wanna sound cocky or arrogant.
but I will.
Oh, I don't know if this is a thing, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but we only kinda shared it a couple times in the past. We really,
That's true, I
like,
didn't hear a lot
at the Good
about
Morning Gloucester Christmas
As I
party,
usually
we
do.
would go with a sign-up sheet and have people
Oh,
pledge
that's
to,
right.
Right.
pledge, and we would make a big deal out of it, and, this year we kinda just like, we just forwarded their Facebook posts,
Mm-hmm,
and the one that came up was just like an, open door,
oh,
like
logo,
flyer.
Mhm.
So I think maybe people just kinda scroll past that.
could be, yeah,
It could be that the time was slightly different because of the tides, that's what you told us.
It changes all the time with the times
Yeah.
of the time, but
So-
you know what? Didn't the Pete Frady's thing just happen
I
on
was
the
just thinking
28th?
I think
Yeah,
that's a
and
great
then
point.
that's a, yeah,
That's a great point, so I think
Maybe
that,
people were all
which was
plunged
awesome,
out, right?
that was awesome.
Maybe they were plunged out.
Like you brought it up.
No, I watched coverage, we were traveling that day, but,
it was, yeah, I think that's a probably, now that I think about it, probably had a much bigger factor
yeah,
on the lower
Yeah.
turnout. But as Jimmy and I did it, and it was the wind, so this is a question. Would you rather it was 33 degrees when we left our house and we plunged, it was probably 34, 35 degrees, but there was a wind chill that was,
Right,
it was
seemed like it
pretty,
was like 20.
pretty aggressive wind chill, so it seemed like it was 20. Would you rather plunge 20 with no wind chill or 33 with the wind chill? I don't know I think that 20, because that wind's constantly coming at you.
Yeah.
I was
yeah,
the
that
least
was
comfortable that I had been.
tough, that was tough.
Yeah, yeah, I was not, when I got out, I was
It has
really,
been much colder. It has been much colder down there,
Mhm.
so.
Is everything okay down below?
everything's okay, but it may also be that I lost 14 pounds, so I don't have that insulation.
The sun was,
The sun made a big difference.
it just felt good,
It
you
did.
know, it just,
Yeah.
John McElhenney, shout out to John McElhenney. So I'm remorseful because we didn't set up a camera on a tripod to catch the people that didn't dump. But we saw, we did Facebook Live, but there's not good video connection, so it's a little
Not
bit
good enough to call people out.
not good enough to call people out. It was pixelated.
So y'all are clear for this year.
So yeah,
but we know who you are,
Well, next
and if we
year,
saw it,
we should do it on a high-speed camera that shoots like 200 frames per second.
100%.
And then slow it down so
Yeah.
that.
GoPro.
And we should
Wear a
don't even
GoPro.
start it until they say go. And so you just capture that, and, you know, because you had plenty of light, you could,
Yeah.
you had plenty of light.
Yeah.
I saw Garrett LaFada in the sumo.
Sumo wrestlers.
Yeah.
Oh, was,
And Kathy McCarthy's husband.
I was at Kathy McCarthy's.
Yeah, him and Tassi.
I saw them try to dive in and then pop right
I was
back
gonna
up.
say, yeah. So they went through all that and then it's not official.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, they got under.
They got under.
They did get under, but it was kind of funny because it was,
Yeah.
I was watching.
shout out to Donna and Rick, they were there and
Yep,
taking photos, and Rick helped me out because you have a plan, like Joey taught me how to do this, like with a
2
plan.
towels.
Good job.
And you kind of try to follow the plan. The wind is whipping, chairs are blowing around, but you try and follow the plan. Well, when he went to Pat and said, "Here, we're going live," there goes my plan. So I needed
Because Pat was supposed to hold his
she
towel.
was gonna take care of stuff. So Rick said,
So,
"I'll
I
help
know,
you."
so,
Thanks, Rick.
so
And,
you can see where the priorities are.
So the wind was so strong that like if you didn't, so here's another thing that I never mentioned, I have to add into my prep list for the
Yeah,
thing, you have to find some big rocks, and there's plenty of them on the beach to secure your towels.
you don't have to bring them, right?
Well, I do wanna add that, the van was totally packed with, food.
It
Oh,
was.
that's great.
Oh, that's good.
It was so filled that, Sarah said, can you watch to make sure I can back out okay? So, cause she couldn't see out
Good
the
to see.
windows and
Oh,
stuff
that's
like
great.
that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great
great.
news,
Yeah.
I gave money,
Me too.
Yeah, so did I, yeah.
money, yeah. So the Patriots are mercifully done. It was it seemed like the longest year ever.
Did it feel that way because of the drama of it?
Because of the the Boston sports media, I think.
Oh,
Just driving
okay.
everybody up a wall, it's,
I see.
so, okay, we're not gonna, cause everybody's talked about it to death, but we're just gonna go around. You don't have to answer if you don't feel like it, you don't have to answer, if you feel like, is Brady gonna be back in a Patriots uniform next year, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
I said no before the game, hearing his comments at the end of the game, I
What
say
did he say,
yes.
what did he say that made you?
He said he'll hopefully be back, which I'm shocked at, but he didn't say he didn't say definitely in a Patriots uniform, he said he'd hopefully be back.
Well, hasn't he already bought a big fancy house in
He's
Connecticut?
He sold
He
his house.
sold his house here, but I think within last year, Giselle bought a big fancy house in Connecticut.
Oh,
I don't know.
That's what I heard, but who knows? Like,
Joe, the fish printer says he won't be back.
you won't.
okay.
Jimmy, you didn't answer.
Oh, that's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay. I say no, he will not be back. I say that he's gonna take the money and run. He wants to
Well,
see,
There's no more money if he says no. Take the money,
I-
he's already earned, Jimmy.
I think people are gonna offer more money to bring him to their team.
So you think he's gonna play somewhere
He's
else?
gonna take the money and go.
He's gonna play
He's
somewhere
going to play, but I can't say it's gonna be with the Pats.
else. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Do you wanna address the podcast schedule?
Yeah, we can talk about,
Okay.
well, Jeff, briefly, my vacation schedule kind of starts now. And next week on the 17th, I'll be back down the dock, and I'll be back at the dock for 3 weeks straight. And
3 weeks, not 2 weeks, yes.
yeah, because February vacation, I have my daughters, and that's the third week. And
Okay.
3 weeks, I'll be at the dock, and we'll be
And then
probably,
regular scheduling will resume at that.
not necessarily.
Oh, okay,
We're gonna be doing several a week though.
okay, very good.
But yeah, we don't necessarily need to, because if there's a day where I see it's a good weather day and I'm gonna be there all day long, then we'll do a pop-up one.
Yeah,
And if looks like it's gonna be bad weather and I don't have to be down the dock, I don't wanna be down the dock.
So
Does that make
Sundays,
sense?
Sundays aren't a sure thing for the next couple weeks.
For the next
that
couple
I
of
think is
months.
yeah.
It could be,
So that our loyal listeners know.
yeah, but the thing of it is I generally,
Loyal listeners.
I'll generally, if people follow the blog, I generally the day before
Right.
put that thing at the top with a note, and I try to change up the background.
Oh, so it's noticeable.
So it's a little bit
That's a good
noticeable.
idea.
That's super smart.
I try, so there's that.
Savvy as usual.
So my nephew BJ is gonna graduate from Syracuse this
That's
spring.
I can't believe 4 years have gone by.
I can't believe it either, it's bananas.
Yeah.
But, so he's graduating in Syracuse, so we looked at, my sister's adamant that we go. I have to go,
Okay.
have to go. So we checked into the hotel rooms, $400 a night, because everybody.
If you can
Because
even get
everybody
one,
does that.
if you can even
If
get
you can
one.
even get one, $400 a night, but I think that, yeah, so $400 a night. So we had an idea during football the other night to get an RV,
Oh,
everybody
Oh.
pack in the RV,
oh, so fun.
total adventure, and go out there.
But the big question is where you're gonna park the thing.
Well, Felicia seems to think we'll be able to park it where he lives. He doesn't live on campus, so.
I'm picturing a new Christmas vacation movie coming out
Yeah.
of this.
Or what's the one Robin and Williams
What about
was in?
Alyssa, because the weather will be.
Oh, I think,
Parks,
yeah,
parks and things like that.
Jimmy would be able to speak to this, and Pat would be able to speak to this. Isn't that he thinks like there's 25 or 30 minutes away, there's a big lake and there's plenty of RV places.
Yeah.
Yes, it's right on Onondaga Lake, and there's a few other places. And I'm sure there's some people, we saw it on, I'm not familiar with the actual campsite, but I know of the lake and I know of places around it that people do go visit. And I can honestly say, hotels around Syracuse University, there aren't as many right there. No matter where you go, you'll be traveling
Right,
a
right,
while, so
your hotel could be half an hour away.
it could be.
Easily.
I'm excited about the whole, so I've been fascinated with this whole glamping thing. Like, glamping in the last couple of years has become a thing, like these glamorous campsites. I don't wanna go to a shitty one with sketchy people. I only wanna go to
with
Alright, we won't
norovirus.
I don't wanna go to the norovirus campsite. I wanna go to the one that has all the facilities and
The
stuff.
Ritz-Carlton,
You
you
wanna
wanna go to the Ritz-Carlton.
Ritz-Carlton, if Ritz-Carlton built a campsite, that's the one we would be going
Right.
to.
Well,
It is
there's the
Julie
meter
Davis.
maid, meter maid.
Julie didn't
Uh-oh.
look in here.
She better not ticket me.
Did you not put money in the meter?
I did.
Jimmy's on,
On
so we
watch.
only have 2 hours
Right,
and we
so we
came
had
here
to
an hour ahead
carefully
of time.
calculate our
Yeah.
parking.
Getting back to the
meters.
RV, I just wanna park it where there's a sewer drain, just in case we have to drain the hose.
Oh.
You know you'll have to
Well,
drain
we're
them.
gonna, so I don't plan on spending a whole, once we get there, we'll
I
probably.
heard how many cases they were talking about buying that get you through the state of
Does
Massachusetts.
this mean that,
It's only a 6-hour drive, I mean,
Is
how
this-
much beer can we drink?
Right.
is this also gonna mean all of BJ's stuff is gonna be in the RV on the way back?
Oh, that's
No.
another good point. Yeah,
Yeah, but that's
Like
just,
all of
think
that
of that.
stuff?
Joe will have to bring his pickup truck.
everybody wave, Talisa.
That.
Oh, this is crazy,
I
everybody.
know, she's, and now we got cars going by waving at us too, and it's great.
Joe, your hand is in my face. Most popular,
Most popular guest.
yeah, most popular
The
guest.
best hand.
Best hand, Rico Suave.
You know what about putting out a call to our readers, like anybody familiar with any campsites in the area?
Well, I think Jimmy's gonna get on it because they basically live there.
How about an Airbnb, like a house?
That was a discussion.
That was a discussion, but I'm obsessed with this, I'm obsessed with tiny house living, not necessarily living, tiny
But
house like vacationing, short little,
Try it out
With a
for a
couple-
short, for a very short period.
3 or 4 nights with a fire, a wood pit.
Because you're so good in enclosed spaces, I've noticed.
Well, I'm alright. Although she's really, Julie Davis is really, she is doing her job,
Alrighty,
checking out
we can-
everybody. Let's,
Oh,
what's
shit.
the,
can verify.
I
What's the
put the
o-
sticker on the wrong side.
what's the over under if someone's gonna get us a ticket?
One
right
of us
now?
in this room, you mean?
No, we.
Oh, just in general?
I put 2 hours in
I put 2 hours in mine.
mine,
Yeah.
so 9:30 to,
So there's
like
that.
Cinderella, I haven't told you.
Yeah.
Well, she's staring at that New York plate.
She's definitely,
She is.
I think she's ticketing the New York
She
plane
triple checked.
because it's New
Doesn't
York.
even matter, I have a sticker there.
She triple checked the
I
New York
gotta
plate. She triple checked it.
She's walking to your car right
Yeah.
now.
Did you really not put money in the
I
meter?
did.
Then
But I
what are you
put
worried
the
about?
sticker
What,
on
the
the other
sticker's
side.
on the wrong side of the,
Oh.
He's horrified right now.
alright.
You're fine.
Does she know?
Hey, Nicole,
I think someone from Gloucester.
Paula Ryan O'Brien is watching, Nicole Schraft is watching.
Now, don't you think Good Morning
Good morning.
Gloucester should
Good
be
morning,
paying?
Paula and Nicole.
Good Morning Gloucester should be paying for our parking.
We'll take it out of the petty cash
This
fund.
is bullshit.
You know
If we're
what?
gonna be doing many of these
Because we
per
got
week,
such a great Christmas raise.
Yeah, that's true.
Huge.
The,
that Christmas present
the
was
bonus,
outstanding.
the year-end bonus
My
was,
time card, I'm not
Just to
punching in.
clarify, for
Unless I
people
know
who
I got 2
really
hours
think
on the
we
meter.
do get paid,
Right.
we really don't get
we really
paid.
aren't, yes, there is,
That's all to it.
A labor of love.
there's no cold hard cash involved,
Everybody knows.
unless we're laying
Go
it out
check your
somewhere.
time.
No, some people actually think we get paid.
Yeah, we don't, yeah, no.
Nope.
This is a non-profit organization.
Right, it's a .org.
No profit whatsoever.
So you're gonna check out the RVs.
Right, so Kate and I tomorrow,
Negative.
Kate and I are gonna go to this place, Cruise America.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of
Oh,
it?
I've heard
I
of
looked
that.
into it.
Really?
Yeah, because I wanted to go on a family trip a couple of years ago. My wife refused to get in an RV with me.
Oh, this sounds like a Modern Family episode.
Which is because
I might have second thoughts about getting an RV with you too.
I was only sitting there watching the game and listening to the discussion, but I did hear Kate and a few other ladies say that they have their priority, who's sitting next to who and
Oh, really?
stuff in the RV. Yes,
Yeah.
there was a discussion.
Well, it was more about the snoring than anything else. There were a lot of the big.
Storing out of both ends.
Oh,
That's
small.
what we're worried about.
Which is
That's
gonna
a
be an issue
small
for our
area
Mexico
for-
trip too. Because the kids, Russ's kids, when, we were on the cruise with a good friend of ours, Russ, and his family, the kids were constantly complaining throughout the entire vacation that Russ was snoring too loud.
Mm.
I
And you snore,
I snore
I
really
don't
loud.
snore.
Well,
So,
so that means you should be in the living room then, and we'll be in the bedrooms.
yeah, the freaking living room, we're on the couch.
on the floor in the kitchen.
The non-snore is the one that gets punished.
Are you sure you don't snore?
Yeah.
I snore when I drink heavily.
Well, there you go, you're gonna be snoring,
Snore.
you're gonna be snoring.
So there'll be updates on the RV.
Paula says she loves the 1623 sign in the background, there's a little bit of
Thank you for
glare. I wonder if
noticing
we
it,
could
Paula.
time a little bit and not get the glare. Yeah.
No, we moved it once and unplugged it, so we're
Well,
not
you got plenty of
touching it.
space on
That's
the
a scene
cord.
straight out of the
We're not
film.
touching it.
So there's that, but driving an RV is a bucket list thing, like going to different festivals would be a lot of fun. I think it'd be more fun
Yeah, that's true.
with a bunch of savage men than needy
It
women.
sounds like fun for you.
High maintenance women.
I think this woman may make it a little bit of a different thing of what I'm picturing.
Not that we know it.
Versus needy women.
I'm
Yeah.
happy
Well,
to
I
be
mean-
needy in this circumstance,
Let's be
however.
perfectly, okay,
Break it up, break it up.
can we be,
I'm holding her back, Joe.
can we be frank, there are different personalities that can
Oh, absolutely.
tolerate more things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, who would you wanna spend 8 hours in a closet with? I mean, that's basically what it comes down to.
Savages or me?
Well, not if I have to bump up against any hairy men. But I wouldn't mind I can bump up against Kate for 8 hours, but I don't wanna bump up against you for 8 hours.
I'd rather spend 8 hours with needy women than savage men.
I mean,
That's agreed on.
We got
No,
a debate
because-
going.
because
If
there's no
there's
way.
wheel, if
No
there's
way, because the women are constantly gonna be complaining about this, that, and the
Are
other
we
thing.
there yet?
Yeah.
I have to pee. We're gonna pee, I'm hungry.
corrective suggestions don't count as complaining. Just FYI.
I think we should move on from this topic.
Yeah, next, Oprah is what we say in the homie cast, that's the safe word, the safe word is Oprah.
Moving on.
I wanna say, big shout out to my daughter Eloise, who's working at the Village.
What does she think of her job? What does she say?
Okay,
She doesn't interact with customers directly?
yeah,
She, okay, so.
kinda, I mean, they're pretty good.
Only when she spills something on them.
She's the best girl, right?
She's a busser,
Yeah,
busser.
so what are her observations?
Her observations are, well, I'm not gonna speak to her observations, but what I'll say is that what I sense is that she's very proud of her independence of making her own money.
That's
And being
excellent.
able to, she buys her own Starbucks, like we go to Starbucks and she will kind of put the hand
That's
in, like,
awesome.
I'm buying it, you know,
Yeah, that's great.
and buys a lot of her own
Is she-
clothes
is she-
now,
Is she 13? That's when I started.
14.
Oh, that's when I started working, that's when
She had to fill out quite a bit of
13.
paperwork.
Yeah. In the old days, they used to let you work when you were 13.
Yeah, in the old days you could do anything, I was working when I was 9, so.
You know what?
Good job, Eloise.
Good
Charlotte loves the Village because she loves chowder.
Oh.
And so she will, sometimes we stop there and just get to go, sometimes we sit down and she
They're very
loves it there.
family friendly there, so
They
that
have
helps
some of the
too.
Yeah.
best chowder around. Topside Grill has trivia nights on Wednesday nights, gonna mention that.
As long as we're in restaurants, we went to Ipswich to the new Fox Creek Tavern yesterday.
Which was the old
And Fuego, right?
Ipswich
I
one.
didn't know if I go.
Is it owned by the same people?
Yeah,
Still
yeah,
by the same people?
the
Cox brothers,
well,
is it?
it's Noah Goldstein, Ryan Cox, and, oh god.
I thought they were like brothers or related or
Well, there's two brothers and one
Oh.
cousin, and the two brothers, I think, are by different fathers or different mothers or something, it's
They don't-
a big thing, it's a one big happy family.
Cluster.
It was excellent, they've redone the inside, it's
Really?
gorgeous
Yeah.
inside. And they have, it's very spacious and a wide variety of the kinds of seating that you can choose to sit at.
What kind of food?
It's not fancy schmancy, it's, your basic stuff, well, it was
I
very
s-
good.
I saw they have
And
like
quite
a
a variety.
prime rib,
Prime rib
Special?
nights coming up,
yeah,
Friday.
it's on the post, I put a post up with the
so
sun
there's a lot of people are freaks for
the
that
prime rib.
prime rib nights,
Yeah,
yeah.
And he mentioned to us, the owner walked over to us,
no,
the manager.
Jared, yeah.
and he told us that he has 69-cent wings. Nights.
69 cents.
That's dirty.
Yeah.
Is that,
Wonder
is
how
it,
they picked up that number.
Yeah.
do they still have the farm? Do they still have the?
They have a
Yeah.
bunch of
Yeah.
restaurants now, they're just blowing
It's
out.
just beautiful in there.
The bar's
It's just-
big and a lot of
And a
people.
salad bar, which was very nice.
Oh, salad bar, I'm a big fan of salad bars.
Yeah, we were very
Should
pleased.
pick up some norovirus.
Definitely going
there.
back there. Yeah,
All the people
No, but I like them too.
handling the,
Sneezing over
sneezing,
the
touching
lettuce.
the handles and stuff. Kim was, you went to iPosi,
We went to iPosi.
based on our,
Right, based on yours and Ralph's wonderful recommendation, and it was amazing.
it lived up to the hype.
Oh, absolutely.
What did you
Well,
have?
First of, well, let's see, my husband had the ravioli stuffed with veal and beef
Yeah,
with a sage brown butter sauce,
pistachios,
and he loved it.
ridiculous,
He loved it.
ridiculous.
And then we also shared a Caesar salad, and then I had 2 appetizers, which I should have listened to you and not done that.
Oh, the appetizers, come on, we had the beef carpaccio, it was this big.
oh
It was like-
wow.
Yeah.
So I had the eggplant timbali, which was probably the best eggplant I've ever had, really. It was beautiful. And then one of my favorite things in the whole world is clams. And so it was like a thicker pasta, almost like a fettuccine
Yeah.
with these gorgeous little tiny clams that were so flavorful, and there were tons of them. Sometimes
That's
when
what
you
Ralph
go,
gets.
right, sometimes you go and you get like 6 little dinky clams. This was like a whole plate
Yeah.
of clams. You weren't hungry after
Right,
you had
right.
it.
It's a dish with clam dinkies. What?
Dinky little clams, dinky clams,
Dinky clams.
Here we go with the animal section again.
But anyway,
dinky, dinky clams.
but listen. So then we also had dessert, and usually
You're not polar plunging today, folks.
Clam shrimp.
Clams.
Here it is.
That's what we'll call it next polar plunge. I got a clam dinky.
And where would you rather spend your time? With this or with the discussion of the,
right.
yeah,
With the
Right.
Yeah, in an RV for 8 hours. Do you want to
Yeah.
talk about clam dinkies or do you want to talk about veal stuffed raviolis?
yeah.
And so we also had dessert, and usually we get like
I'm surprised you had enough room at this point.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we
Jesus.
had to try everything, so,
Yeah.
usually we just get one dessert and share it, but we had the black cherry, gelato, which was
They're right there.
yeah, that they make there, and then
Ralph told
my
us to
creme
do that.
brulee was one of the best creme brulees I've ever had. It was made with like egg yolks, and it was really rich, it was beautiful.
Wow.
And then I got a headache when I went home.
And you made a reservation, right?
Yeah, we made a reservation, but it really wasn't that busy, and I think it was because it was the week after,
New Year's.
New Year's, so
Right,
it was
right.
a couple days after New Year's, so we wouldn't have had to make a reservation, but also I just wanna say, the couple were just lovely,
Yeah,
like, they learned that, cause Ralph said,
Make sure you let 'em
texted
know.
and said, let them know, and they both just came over and were so friendly and so sweet.
Yeah.
And they said, what about Chris and
So we were talking, and then they mentioned Joey, and they were like, oh, it's so fun having Joey and Ralph, and then they were like, oh, and Ralph's friend, Chris, he's crazy Chris.
Well known, his reputation precedes itself.
God, yeah.
So anyways, and the decor is lovely, I mean, it's just, I would put it in my top 5 of North Shore
Yeah.
Oh,
restaurants.
wow,
Yeah.
that's a high praise.
I would definitely
Would
agree
you?
with that,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that, yeah.
Wow.
You know, we have to do a road trip and we gotta go see Anthony's, now that Anthony's taken over the Blue Ox. So many people haven't gone to the Blue Ox and it's for years, it's been highly regarded.
Guy that we graduated,
Yes, and then now that one we're on.
Johnny Moore owned that for a short time. Blue Ox, yeah,
For a short time,
yeah, for like a year and then he
just recently.
sold it. No, this was
Oh, way
maybe
back?
5 to 8 years ago.
Wait a second, so he owned it but just for a short period?
Yeah, I think a year,
So that place has had like 4 or 5 owners now?
yeah,
And they just
The
keep
past
it up
10
there,
years.
oh, that's wild.
yeah.
And where is it?
It's
In Lynn,
Oh, okay.
it's in Lynn, it's a kind of a, not, you'd have to put it into your GPS,
Right.
you're not finding it.
It's on a side road.
It's on a side road in Lynn, yeah.
But you know what's helped that place is the Lynn Auditorium. Because the Lynn Auditorium is attracting some decent talent.
Oh.
So that's Shal and I, what the hell did we go there for?
You went to like Grand Funk Railroad or something like, no, it was something.
Dolly Parton or something.
No, you went to like a, it was like a
Yeah, I
retro
forget,
disco
it was a
band.
concert, and we took the train.
Cool in the Gang.
Was it Cool in the Game?
I thought so, something like that.
It might have been Cool in the Game, but in any case, we got tickets, we took the train down, walked right to the Blue Ox, and then from the Blue Ox, we walked to the Lynn Auditorium. And at that, after that, we were so tired, we're like, we don't wanna deal with the train, so we took an Uber home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but yeah, so my guess is that Blue Ox will continue to do well as long as Lynn Auditorium.
Well, you got Anthony in there too.
And yeah,
He's a winner, he doesn't mess around.
Yeah.
So we would just, I don't know how I ran across this, speaking of trains. The Freeport Down Easter, have you heard of this?
Yeah, I have, but I think only because I saw it in a post thing.
Oh, okay, you saw it. You-
Yes, and we did some research on
You
it
did
last
some-
night, yeah.
No, you
I
did.
think we're gonna do it, we're gonna
So
try it.
I posted the schedule and there's a link to it in the show notes of this podcast. But you can get it from Boston, you can get it from Woburn, you can get it from another, I think Haverhill maybe. And it goes, and it's almost like every other hour going up. And it makes a bunch of stops all the way up to Freeport, Maine. Actually, there's one stop past there, but it doesn't.
Brunswick, I think.
Yes, it's like someplace you may not really care
It's the
about
North
going to. Yeah, but it was, for the month of January, it's they have $15
Such a
fares
great idea.
with three day advance purchase,
One way, yeah.
one way.
That's such a great idea to get people, get
Yeah, I mean,
up there.
we were looking at it, cause we were looking at, the parking situation at Woburn and Haverhill. Haverhill, thank you. And the driving distance, and maybe we would just go from Boston, and, it's not gonna be faster or cheaper probably than driving ourselves, but it'll be an adventure. So I think we're gonna try it.
Yeah, fun.
So, for the blog,
Absolutely,
Yes.
that's, yeah.
Joe,
only for the
We
blog.
just sacrifice
Joe,
Oh,
it.
it's sacrificing for the
Yeah.
blog.
Yes.
He'll give you
So can we put
$1,000.
that travel voucher in
Travel
the
vouchers, travel
the
vouchers.
budget for?
Yes.
Fill out your expense report.
Yeah, no, I think that's, I kinda would like to do it.
Yeah, it's just
So-
for,
So I posted a sample schedule, and there was like a 9:30 out of Woburn. They said
Right.
the parking is expensive out of Woburn though.
yes, it was more expensive, $7 a day.
Yeah.
It said.
What?
Wow.
That's it?
It's,
$7 is,
Haverhill is 5.
oh Jesus Christ. It's like, it's expensive. I thought it was gonna be like $25,
Well,
$30.
according to the Amtrak, station information,
That's a
it's
non-factor,
$7, so I don't know if that's,
$7 a non-factor. I would go to Woburn.
yeah,
I would
If
go
you're
to,
away for a month,
It's-
$7 is a
it's
lot.
closer than, no, Haverhill's closer.
What's a lot of
No,
money?
further.
It's 2 hours parking at your local
Yeah.
airport.
Yeah,
yeah.
Wasn't that right?
38
Yeah.
bucks.
they're both kind of the same, right?
But when we're coming back, and we had looked at you take the
We're doing it in a
5:30, 6
day.
o'clock train,
5:30 gets
you're
back
back
at
around
8:30.
7, 8:30, Woburn coming back, isn't that gonna be a little tough on the highway?
At
At
8:30,
8:30 at night.
8:30 you're done, you're way past the,
Okay.
it's
So you get a
non-factor,
Yeah,
non-factor.
factor
we're gonna
in
give it a go,
gas.
we're gonna spend the day
The
in
gas
Freeport.
money too.
So-
I think.
Well, the thing about it is so you're leaving at 7, you're leaving at, if it leaves at 9:30, you're leaving Gloucester at 8.
Then you will be stuck in traffic.
So wait, so that's at 8 to 8:30, it's a long day.
Yeah,
And
it
if
is
you
a
buy
long
a lot
day.
of stuff, you're lugging a lot of stuff during the day. I mean,
Yeah.
cause you're, if you get there at 9:30 and the train that leaves doesn't leave till 5:30, you're walking around with a lot of stuff unless they have like lockers that you can put stuff there.
That's a good
If you
question.
think about it.
Yeah.
The train station is, it's almost like the Middle Street walk to go to all the outlets.
Right from
Yeah,
I
Freeport.
looked right at it.
We
It's
might,
a
we
piece
might
of cake.
consider just going to Portland too, instead.
Portland is good.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
probably Freeport, either one of those two.
I did both,
Yeah.
Can you do both of them?
This time-
Could you do
Yeah.
both?
Oh, I don't know, well,
Yeah, you
that would be,
So this
That's a lot to see.
time of year, I imagine that Freeport after Christmas
Hmm.
has some and the winter is kind of people have already bought their Christmas stuff, I imagine there's some outrageous deals. And LL Bean, that's where they're headquartered.
Right.
So,
Right.
and they have a huge store there.
They have a
That
huge
store is
store.
actually worth visiting on its
It's
own.
been, we made a special trip up there once, it was a long time ago now,
Yeah.
to go to LLB.
That used to be a thing, cause I remember, it was like probably about 20 years ago.
Yeah, it
somebody
was a
put
long,
in-
yeah,
Yeah,
My
so,
family couldn't afford trips like that.
But no pool.
so we'll report, we're probably gonna do it in the next,
so there's a link in the show notes that you can check it all out, all the information. I'm looking forward to doing that. Pat, did they,
the silly triceratops in this big, huge
blow up?
model of a triceratops.
That in the photo looked real, and they put it right on our, like,
In the roadway,
in the roadway.
Where
this
is
is in
this?
England, it's in the Isle of Wight in England. And it
People were
turned,
freaking out.
and it was it's a personal belonging of this guy who runs a shop or something.
And did he just
And-
get to see people's?
He says it takes like 5 men to just push it like a little bit, so it must have been quite a troop of drunken sailors or something that actually moved it into the roadway, and it looked like it was crossing the road.
It did.
It
It
really
looked like on a highway, it was like, and it looked like it came out of the woods on the highway and it was just right there.
Wow.
And I would have freaked
It was a
out.
BBC
Now,
news
come on.
report.
Don't tell me you guys haven't done anything when you were in college that,
Wow,
I mean-
but I don't know where we would get a
No,
15
but-
foot tall
It's a-
triceratops.
Is there a university there in the Isle of
I did
Wight?
Oh, I don't know, that's a good question.
Well, you know,
That
I don't
sounds-
know if you remember, Joe, but back in our day, high school days, college days, there was the big pink elephant that
Yeah.
car dealership
Yeah.
on Route 114
Yeah, of course.
always displayed.
Yeah.
And the thing was,
Stolen?
no, yeah, kids would steal it
Mhm.
and put it on, their high school campus as a way of saying, look at what we did. So.
No, nowadays kids,
Did it come
like,
back?
And it came back,
It
yeah,
always come
yeah,
back.
they wouldn't destroy it or,
Yeah.
you know,
Vandalize.
nowadays if kids like do things like that, they put they horrorize the kids, you know,
Yeah,
like
they
something that
horror
was fun, like, you know, back then,
Yeah.
like they get a chuckle out of it, maybe they get like some kind of a silly
Yeah, that's
detention.
true.
Nowadays,
used to be-
they make such a monstrous
Yeah.
deal out of it that the kids like, the fun police is,
Right,
yeah.
right.
I would hate to grow up now,
It was,
compared to when we were growing up.
I was in Florida spring training, one of the first ones I went down, and I went with, I think my brother-in-law and stuff, I met some of the Met players that I knew from, I knew they were in spring training, so I'd catch up with them. We were all at a bar having a meal and drinking and stuff, now this is before Ubers and everything, so,
But
No
while
one's
you
gonna
were an
drive that.
adult. But you were an adult.
okay. And, we
Let the
walked from the
record
bar back to the hotel and, we were, so there was all these cones that were sitting on the side of the road that they must have done construction. So we just went out and blocked the highway and made all the cars from the highway pull into this lot and go across and go back out again. And we just sat there and watched all of it until somebody
That is
finally
classic.
went,
I like that,
this is
that's a good one.
stupid, and they picked all the cones and threw it and then the traffic kept going. So,
So
I
you
did
had
that
them
with-
turning down a one-way?
No, they didn't do it that way. I've done that.
I had jury duty scheduled for January 2nd, and I got the notice that they weren't gonna need me. So we did a little research on all the process. Some people don't really know how it all works, but and I didn't really know this because it seems like every time that I am potentially could get summons,
Called.
I get summons, and I know a lot of people
People
that
feel
never
that
get
way.
summons.
Yeah.
So we did some research on how it all works. So because I didn't have to go in, my name immediately gets thrown back into the pool. If I went in and got sent away, dismissed, I get you get a 3-year
Waiver.
waiver that you don't have to, you won't get put back into the pool for 3 years.
Right.
The
So-
norovirus pool?
So here's the question, what would you, like, I had always thought, it's just, I hope that they don't have it and I'll be released, I always thought that. But knowing that now, would you rather actually go in and be dismissed and not have it on your head for 3 years? Or would you rather be dismissed and then knowing that if, in my case, that I get called every year, what would you do?
Tom, I have to say that Tom was on a murder trial and he still gets called in regularly. So
Huh.
He must have been good.
he had to be like there for 3 weeks
Right,
on murder trial.
Paula Ryan O'Brien was on the first
Death penalty.
death penalty
He's
case
when
in
it
New York.
returned to New York.
But the question is this,
But he still has to
That was-
he still is called regularly and I'm never called.
Well, they
so okay,
explained
here
it,
you go, so we're gonna go over that, so you're never called,
I'm
he's
never-
called regularly, even though he's sick.
When I lived in Boston,
Well,
I
the
was called
question-
once and that was it.
yeah,
And ever since then, never.
Okay, so in your case,
Right.
you would say, I would rather not get, so what would you rather do? Would you rather be sent home, or would you rather go in?
Oh, I wanna go in, I wanna go in, I'll take my chances.
Yeah.
Because I wanna get off the
Three,
list.
off the list for 3 years?
Yes, because then I don't have to say, there's a chance
Right,
we may get called, and now here we are talking plans, yeah.
yeah,
so
it's very frustrating to me. So we're gonna go over, so we looked this up online, Pat and I and Jimmy yesterday, we had a meeting and we went over this stuff.
I led the research team.
You did the research thing.
I drove there.
So, we got this, we pulled up this article from WGBH, and this is what they said. For answers, they went straight to the source. Pamela J. Wood, jury commissioner for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Wood and her 30-person team are responsible for keeping the state's court system well-stocked with qualified potential jurors. So how do they pick them? This is what they say. It is done randomly by computer, said Wood. We're not over here drawing names out of a hat or deciding who we think would be a good juror on a particular case. This randomized process of selection, executed by a software program called Jury Plus, begins with something called the Master Juror List. And so where does Wood's office get that list? Massachusetts is the only state in the nation that has a mandatory municipal census, explained Wood. Each year, all 351 Bay State cities and towns submit their census results to the Office of the Jury Commissioner. So while many states would use, say, voter rolls or driver records to identify potential jurors, Massachusetts' jury pool is determined by these annual censuses. As such, the list tends to include a broader swath of the population, and they also allow students to serve, which many states don't.
And each year you have the same percentage chance of getting,
So we're just completely unlucky, the people that get selected every.
right, in Massachusetts anyway, right?
Kim should play the lottery because she never gets picked.
You're all looking at this the wrong way.
Go ahead.
It is our duty
I agree with you.
to serve.
I agree too.
It's almost like voting.
Easy
Yeah.
for you to say you never get
I
picked.
know, but
I was a
I would
jury
like to
foreman.
be.
They selected me as a jury
Jury
foreman
foreman.
about
Who would
10 years
do
ago.
Oh boy, who would you?
Which was a pretty interesting
What
experience.
What kind of trial was it?
A barroom fight
Oh my
where a
goodness.
little guy, where a big guy was picking on a little guy, and the fight ended up
Out on
out on the street,
Yeah.
and a bigger guy pushed the little guy, and he hit his head. When he fell back, he hit his head on the curb and ended up in the hospital and all that. So, and I can't
Tell
share
yours,
the results.
Your experience.
So what's that?
Which one?
Well, you were on the trial for Billy Martin.
Oh, I got
and-
called to be
Yeah.
on the jury for the Billy Martin
Yankees?
DWI trial.
Billy
Yeah,
Martin, the Yankee?
yes.
Really?
He died in Broome County, where our house is,
Wow.
and they.
So you killed him?
No, they didn't let me. I think it was because they heard I was a teacher and they asked a lot of questions about what the school does for education in DWI, things like that, so I think that's probably
interesting.
why
You didn't
it did get picked, but
See, that's why I got picked for the bar and brawl.
But
It's
you
because of your extensive, experience with alcohol
With alcohol.
and bar rooms.
And stupidness.
And stupid stuff. Exactly. Yeah, so I have a question for you. Your mother, the saint that she is, we didn't even press record here, so that's fucking great. We don't have any audio.
Go away for 2 weeks
Your
and
mother,
the place falls to shit.
your mother who worked, for generations at Marshall's,
Yes,
and you're going on a trip
yes,
with your daughter Mia,
yes,
and you asked to borrow a suitcase for her.
yes.
This is what I don't understand. Marshall's is known for their well-stocked selection of Samsonite suitcases at very reasonable prices. And I can't understand, this is what I wanna know your thought process here. Do you think that Mia is not gonna need a suitcase in the future, or did you lend all your suitcases out to other people? Like, how do you not just go buy your daughter a suitcase?
Joe, they're expensive and one can't afford, the luxury items that you afford. No,
It's so predictable.
You haven't been
we
making
have.
that extra G&G money yet, right?
Exactly. No, our son Connor has the suitcase. So that's why when we went up to the attic and got the suitcases down, we were like, oh shit.
Oh, it's the
Yeah.
last minute then.
Well, it was like 2 days
You
ahead of
couldn't
time,
go to
so we
Marshall's
could have
now,
went
it's
to
in
Marshall's.
Gloucester,
But
yeah.
Marshall's is 25 minutes away.
Where you live?
Your house is 5 minutes away.
There you go.
It's much easier.
Yeah, okay.
But no, you're right. We do have to buy one more piece of luggage. Actually, 2 more because the one that Kate let us borrow was destroyed. So we now owe her a piece of luggage.
She did say this morning, yeah, just go to
I
the
have it in my
Toomey
car.
store and.
Yeah, the Toomies.
Yeah, just pick her up something new from Toomey. I have a suitcase fetish.
Do you?
You do?
Yeah, I cannot go buy a suitcase store without walking in.
Really?
Because
That's so interesting.
It's so fun.
I'm obsessed with the perfect suitcase, and now that I have so many pieces now, that,
What are the elements of a perfect suitcase?
okay, you wanna know the elements of a perfect
Yes,
suitcase?
I do.
sir? If you don't own a 4-way
Yes.
spinner,
Yes.
you're a fucking asshole.
Okay, check.
Yes.
And then I'll tell you why, because you can have a 4-way spinner, big or small, and while you have any other bags or children or whatever else you have to manage, your tickets, your cell phones or whatever, you're in lines inevitably at an airport, you just tap it along with your foot and it rolls effortlessly, because airports
Okay.
are built to standards where everything's nice and level.
You just
You just kick it along and you kick it along effortlessly. You don't have to worry,
You need your other hand.
so the one
yeah.
that just has to, even, so that's the highest level, the best
Okay.
level. The
Okay.
next level down would be 2 wheels in the back with the 2 stoppers in the front on the corners.
Mhm.
But the problem with those is sometimes the suitcase is overloaded and they tip forward.
Okay, so
With
we're,
the wheels in the corners of the bottom of the suitcase, it is very stable and you don't have to worry about it falling over.
so what about hard case versus soft sided?
Yeah.
Where are you in that?
I've never owned a hard.
You like it hard, right?
I know
That
a lot of,
I'm sorry, folks.
yeah.
I should have known it was going down that road.
She acts like it was an innocent question, we all know
You
it
use
wasn't
the
an
word
innocent
knowing.
question.
So
Where was it gonna go?
Liv has this really kind of modern suitcase that's hard, and she fits everything in, and she carries it on, she can carry it
Yeah.
on and so even when she comes for a week, she just has her one little carry-on and.
You can tell people, even at the airports, seasoned travelers versus people that go on trips like once every 2 or 3 years.
Mhm.
And it's very frustrating when you're behind those kind of people.
Yeah.
But like when you go, but I've come to a crossroad where I used to think, and this is Nicole Schraft is involved in this conversation. Nicole Schraft went on a girls' trip a couple of years ago, and one of her friends on this trip, they were going to either Mexico or Florida or something, Key West I think it was, and one of the girls' pieces of luggage got redirected because they checked it. And I said to them, what a rookie move, who checks luggage nowadays? Checking luggage is for novices, like it's so much better to have a carry-on, so you don't have to wait or have the problems of potentially
Yeah.
having your,
Losing.
not luggage with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Having said that, checking, so the person rebutted, and it was Timmy Pierce's wife, Missy Pierce, said, actually, only rookies bring carry-ons, it's much better
I
to
like
go
to check.
unencumbered. Like,
Yes,
so you can go
I agree
through,
with
you
that.
walk through the
Yeah.
you walk through the
I don't
airport
mind
without
going
having
and
to
waiting
look.
at the luggage
And you don't,
the
have to
baggage
worry
claim.
about, tucking the thing up there and
Right.
getting off and carrying all your stuff.
Interesting.
So,
I prefer to check when I,
So you
when
prefer
I
to
can,
check.
I don't mind going to baggage claim, but the danger of it getting misdirected is significant, so.
no, it's pluses and minuses, so I did check when we went to Paris, we did check our bags, and I have to say,
It was so
it
easy.
is a lot nicer to
Yeah.
just like,
You're not
Yeah.
struggling for space overhead, you're
yeah,
not,
it's just kinda like, you have
With somebody.
yeah.
a little backpack and stuff, are you distracted, what's going, oh, wow.
No, I
Shopping
was
for
pulling up
luggage, Mia's
because,
luggage is being,
no, the bag that I'm starting to see, a lot these days is called Away. They're very durable, they actually let you use it for 100 days, and if you don't like it, you can send it back.
Do you have a picture of it? Cause I think that's what Liv has.
Yeah, they're hard case.
But they're hard, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they even have like a charger, a phone
Yeah,
I've
charger,
seen that.
I've seen phone
Oh,
chargers and
which is
bags.
pretty cool, but I
So
thought there's like a guarantee too,
So
that they're
what-
supposed to last forever.
what's your recommendation then on best suitcase? Do you have one?
Well, I generally buy, I don't buy Toomey, oh, there's James and Anna. I generally buy whatever's at, I buy Samsonite.
Yeah.
I don't have the money to buy Toomey,
Yeah.
but Toomey is supposed to be like the best. And I buy it because, even if you buy Toomey, the way, airports, if you do check bags, everything gets filthy no matter what. It
Yeah.
comes out of those things and it's always filthy.
Right.
But I always buy four-way spinners. My latest acquisition was a one that's this big, so it's not 22 inches, it's more of and it has a long handle that comes up. So it's more of an overnight
Nice.
one,
Mhm.
so
And it fits in the overhead?
oh, that'll definitely fit in the overhead. That'll
So
fit
long
under
and hard,
long and hard.
yeah,
So
I'm so
anyway,
sorry I started this.
no, you're not. You're an instigator. You are an instigator.
lock the door.
James and Anna Eves. Hi guys. Look at them. Oh, that's so funny.
Come in.
There's a pop-up at
Bowport.
Are they coming in? Oh, so we should not start
Excellent.
this topic until they come in. Oh, they're doing it.
Want me to move it? Do you want me to leave my?
You're dying to move that score.
No,
Want me to
I'm
leave
just
my
dying to
chair?
open the door.
Hey, sit down. I'm actually here to meet with Eric.
Good morning. Good morning.
Everybody say hi,
Happy
James and
New
Anna,
Year.
James here. Mr. Carey, there's a hundred all.
Oh, hi, you're all fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing Photoshop classes here and
Oh, that's
teaching
excellent.
classes here and
They
stuff like
want
that.
creators here,
Yeah, well-
they're thirsty for creators
I
here.
wanted to play with Eric for a long time, so.
It's a
Good guy.
space to do that.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
We're so excited to come over and take a
Yeah.
look at everything.
It's ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Look at all the
Very
Mac
complicated.
workstations they have.
Wow.
You should really tell people that you came because you saw us on Facebook Live and you rushed
That's-
down
That's
here.
exactly why I
rushed
came.
right
Because of that, that's
Rushed
why.
right over.
Well, no, she mentioned it when we were
Close up the
across. I
shop.
wonder if they're still over there.
Yeah, because I did see you
Oh,
guys.
you saw the notification?
Yeah, I saw that. So I said, oh, and here you guys are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Having fun. What are you talking about?
We had all kinds of filthy things.
Yeah.
Page 2, we have this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, good. Fun
Alright,
as
well,
always.
enjoy. We're gonna go play with Eric.
Okay. Good to see
See
you.
you guys.
Yeah.
Good to see you too.
Alright, there you go.
Take care.
Always good to see James and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the sweethearts.
Bowport.
Boatport, January 10th, this Friday,
Yes,
at January
Yes,
10th, this
yes.
Friday at 7 p.m. in their lobby. They're hosting a Veuve Clicquot pop-up event. It's called, and I'm gonna read the press release. Please join us for Clicquot in the Snow, the first of our Veuve Clicquot pop-up champagne lounge series on Friday, January 10th at 7 p.m. So it's gonna be a series. We will be
all about
transforming.
that.
Where we will be transforming our pavilion foyer into a stylish, bubbly lounge. This is a free event, so stop by
What? That's great.
before dinner at our 1606 restaurant bar or make a night of it sipping on velvety Veuve Clicquot or rosé for purchase. There will also be for purchase a pairing menu of oysters, artisanal cheese, and chocolate delicacies to nosh on while listening to a customized playlist of upbeat, sultry sounds by the award-winning Jimmy Esposito of 617 Events. Make sure that your phones are charged to capture some iconic shots in our Instagrammable space and be ready to experience our lobby like never before.
Wow.
We
I'm
love our,
excited.
we love our friends
Are you
at
putting that going up on the blog? Did you put that up already?
Cape Ann Eats. It's up and we link to it in the show notes.
Right, you can remember how to say it by Nerve Glido. Nerve Glido.
Nerve.
Nerve
Nice.
Glido.
So there's that. I was listening to the Greg Hill show, morning show on EEI, I believe it's EEI.
What kind of show is that? I've never heard that
It's a
before.
sports show,
Sports show.
radio, this morning, and they
For savages.
Savages in the group.
So they replaced a couple of guys that were dismissed, and I feel like the reason that they were dismissed because they were like completely political all the time, and there were people that didn't like their takes, and so they got let go. But they were talking. So this guy was talking about Peloton. He has he doesn't own one, but he goes to a gym that has a Peloton bike, and I guess that so there was an outrage like last month. That was the outrage du jour about Peloton's commercials, how they had men that were buying bikes for their women, and how in the ads they show these perfect women all the time
Because they wanted their women to lose weight.
because they wanted their women to lose weight or whatever.
Or that was.
But I don't understand, so people were like, well, are you supposed to show people that are not fit in an ad for fitness? Like for years, for generations, that's all we've seen is ads, if you wanna sell a product that is
About fitness.
about fitness, you want a fit person,
Right.
I can look like that, right? So it makes sense to me, but whatever, in outrage culture, this is what we're living with. But so they were talking about it, while they were talking about it, they were getting, because they do a lot of people feedback like we do, of people saying, on the screens, they have classes, and they're classes that come in over the web. So they have different instructors, you can take different classes, and the different instructors for men and women are generally very attractive.
Right.
So where it was going was, all these people were texting in, you have to check out Hillary's class, she's a smoke show, and then there was women saying, you have to check Alex's thing, he's a hot piece of beef or something like that. And so I'm thinking about this, and I'm like,
That's so fun.
they have kind of, it was unbelievable amounts of people, men and women, chiming in on how they're
How
obsessed
physically
with
attractive- how
these
physically
instructors
attractive.
and how they motivate them and everything else. And I'm thinking to myself, because Peloton stock has been a rocket ship. It took a little bit of a hit when they were making fun of it on Saturday Night Live and stuff like that. But I'm thinking about this, and I think the machines are like $2,000 to have them in your house, and then there's a monthly fee. But I'm thinking about this, like, people are obsessed with like porn and everything else. And I'm not, like, just hear me out here. These guys, I'm telling you from a marketing standpoint, this is like, it's not porn, but it's hitting
It's a
nerve.
level below.
It's a level below, and it's hitting up. It's an acceptable form of synapses going off in men and women's
Yeah,
psyches,
so interesting.
and saying, "Oh my God, I can get on here for 45 minutes and check out this." You know, a woman,
Check out
women,
Chris.
women saying, "Oh, this hunk of beef guy is gonna really motivate me."
I can work out with
and vice
Chris.
versa. I can work out with Chris.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna pedal.
So I'm thinking, isn't
Pedal quicker. Come on, Joe, pedal. Joe, stop sending me messages.
I,
Isn't it?
That's so
isn't it-
interesting, yeah.
Isn't it brilliant though?
It is.
And
I wanna
it
thank
gets people
everybody for
talking.
listening for the segment From the Mind of Joey C.
Well, if you think the
Just think, no,
Peloton,
think about it. I mean, I'm not
No,
I'm not joking.
it
I mean,
is
isn't
marketing.
it brilliant marketing?
Yeah, it is. It gets people talking, which is what you want.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's negative, it gets people talking, and that's all
So they
good
were,
for
so
them.
on the show, they were looking up these men and women that the people were suggesting that you know, take their class.
Mhm.
And they have, these instructors have, like, I think that whatever they get paid to provide their class in the, whatever studios that they are,
It's like a commission.
they have outrageous numbers of social media followers now, and they're like Clarissa Peloton. Like, so people are, so from that,
That's
they
genius.
can actually
No, that's
probably
genius.
leverage their Peloton, you know, whatever they're getting paid from Peloton, maybe, I don't know how much it is. If it's 1,000, is it 1,500, is it $2,000 class, I don't know. But whatever they're doing there, from a modeling standpoint or a spokesperson's standpoint, like, there's so many different avenues
Yeah, that's
of
genius.
revenue.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and that's why I had mentioned the mirror, because I've seen a bunch of ads recently for this new workout
I've seen that too.
product.
so it's
You
not
pay.
Peloton, it's something different.
No,
It's called the mirror.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I think the ads I saw were Peloton.
Oh, really?
I think
Is there-
Oh,
so.
maybe Peloton owns it and they just call it the mirror. But it's basically something that hangs on the wall that looks like a regular mirror, and then when you turn it on, you're looking at yourself, but you're also looking
In a scene biking,
or running.
Or
So
running.
it's not biking.
Oh, okay.
So it's
so you kind of like the wilderness is kind of going by you or whatever?
not a wilderness. There's a
And
person
an instructor.
An
Oh, an
instructor.
instructor in front of you.
in front of you that's basically
You're
giving you
immersed,
the instruction.
you're immersed in this thing.
Exactly.
Wow, the possibilities and the things that you can do nowadays is just
Yeah.
unbelievable. And yeah, but you're gonna see, I mean, you see a lot of these studios popping up all over the place.
I saw one for lobstermen only. And, I mean,
Lots of
hot
dealers,
lobster.
lots of them, hot
I
lobster.
wonder if
hot
any of the
lobstermen.
local studios are gonna.
pedal your bike to hot
That's a good
lobstermen.
question.
So I was dropping the girls off to school today, and Eloise always uses she stops and she gets coffee, and so we're coming out of the place, and I saw the first beams going up for the YMCA.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah, which seems like now, like they've spent all this time clearing that land, but now, and the Wendover signs are all up there, and it's gonna be interesting to see how fast
fast
they
it
get
goes
there.
down, yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do with the old Y. Have you heard it?
I've only heard the idea that a theater was gonna go in there,
Oh.
so.
Was it by,
art
was it by a bunch of like artists saying that, or was that from like business people?
No, it was a bunch of artists.
Yeah,
saying
okay,
that,
so
yeah,
like they're
so,
doing it, yeah.
No, well, when you say theater, like a movie theater or
like a stage theater.
a stage, like
Cause some
tape?
people have ideas, but they have no funding and they
It could
just
be-
float things, you know?
Right, it could be in, I mean, I've heard people talk about an art center, but we already have this, we
Need
already
another
have
park,
we
we
have
should
art.
tear it down and put a park.
I heard a strip joint.
Well, the thing
I
that,
heard a gentleman's
well, I
club.
don't know if this is,
We
did you
need
hear
more
about the-
Chinese food restaurants, pizza places and sub shops, that's what
Yes.
we need more of.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe the archives will come across the street.
Nail salons, we need more nail salons.
nail salons,
And
yeah.
we need a $200,000 or $300,000 waiting park that's going up in front of the Y. Did you hear about that?
Oh, that's gonna be cool, kids are gonna love that.
A what?
Waiting park, so the
Waiting
kids
park.
can go run through the you know, how the sprinklers
Oh, really?
for the summer, yeah.
Yeah, it's,
That get approved?
it did get approved.
Really?
$300,000, $200,000 of it is community preservation funds.
And where is that going?
That's going in front of the Y.
Oh, the new Y.
The new Y. Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
A while.
Speaking of norovirus.
right, or guess what, we have tide pools here in
Oh,
Gloucester.
Okay.
How about those Patriots?
Yeah.
Dial it back.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Can't help itself.
Good segue into the.
Good segue, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's Boy Scout Troop 20 Christmas tree pickup is this Saturday from 8 to 2 p.m. for a $5
Oh,
donation.
what day, cause we have ours on the street right now. What is it? What
It's
day?
Saturday,
It's Saturday?
January 11th. The
Okay.
tree must be placed outside, cleared of ornaments. Call 978-309-9501 with your name, phone number, and address. I did this in there.
Yeah, I did it last year.
Troop 20 tree pickup at gmail.com. We'll put this in the show notes.
And you
as
just
well.
put like a little envelope with $5 in there on your porch or something?
Doesn't
Stick it
say,
to the
but I
tree?
assume
Pin
so.
it, yeah,
Pin it to the,
pin it to the tree.
pin it to the
Put it
tree.
in an envelope, yeah.
Right.
I would say, if
I
you're
just
not,
don't
if you're not gonna.
I just don't pay.
Kim,
$5.
Kim, do you have a Cape Ann wildlife update?
I sure do. So we're just we're in that beautiful time of year in the winter when we can see tons of shorebirds that have migrated from farther north. So we're like their little Bermuda to them. So,
I wish.
so
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
doing all kinds of really cool things. And right now there's a pair of American widgeons at Niles. At Grace Cove, so you can see them on the berm that separates it, but they're beautiful. The males have beautiful light blue bills with electric green swaths of feathers that go down it. I mean, what iridescent green
There's
is.
a pair of them too?
Two of
How big are they?
About mallard size.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, about mallard size. Yeah, good size. And also the little American pipits that were here, they've been here for actually about a month, so, which is, you can see those I see them at the end of the day. It looks like a little pair. There's tons of hawks, sharp-shinned and,
Hawks in
Red
East Gloucester, I've
Yeah.
seen a ton of them,
Yeah.
like right by the wharf, going up the hill from the wharf.
yeah,
I've been seeing
seen a
them.
good number there.
Yeah.
I think there's a little Sharpie that's hanging out right there. They have, look at,
Sharpie?
a sharp-shinned hawk. They have like a little bit more, they're a little more blue-gray on their back. That's how you can tell that it's, that's one of the ways you can tell that the difference between a red-tailed and a sharp-shinned hawk. And I'm just trying to think, we've got so many, like the common eiders, this is a good time of year, this has happened every winter. I see common eiders just resting on the beach, where you don't usually see that during the nesting season, especially because they're taking care, they take care of the babies in like a family. All the aunties raise the ducklings, so, but you just see them resting quietly on the beach right now. It's kind of, and they're not, they're not skittish or anything like that, so, yeah, so
I was
we're just
looking at you, Kim. One of the islands we stopped at was Grand Turk.
Oh,
And do the butterflies, monarchs, go down as far as Grand Turk?
no, I don't think so, but if you did see some butterflies,
I did see some butterflies that
yeah,
kind of, I was on a RV,
yeah,
so,
Trampling through, wrecking all kinds of wilderness.
no.
no, it was on the street,
Is
a
that-
lot of donkeys.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it's pretty cool to see
Yeah,
donkeys,
oh,
but I saw a bunch of butterflies and
yeah.
a couple of them looked like,
Monarchs, they have
had
the
this
yellow,
color.
orange and black
Yeah.
color, yeah. I think there's a lot of long wings down there in that
Yeah.
area. There's so many there's so many species of butterflies in
Yeah.
the tropics, especially this time of year.
yeah.
It's a great time to go. Like I've never been to Costa Rica, but I
Costa
would
Rica,
love to
good.
go
Oh,
there, yeah.
People
I
say
imagine you
that.
would love
Yeah.
that there, yeah.
Yeah.
We should speak to
Birds and butterflies.
your buddy about Costa Rica. Doesn't he know one of the lobstermen?
Oh, Tuffy, yeah, Tuffy's on a little different kind of excursion down in Costa Rica. Kim, Duckwoods, did we talk about Duckwoods?
No, we didn't talk about Duckwoods, but our friends Ken and Nicole are they've had Duckwoods for 15 years, if you can believe it, and they are doing some really nice freshening up in the main dining
Oh,
room.
really?
And then they're also Ken's getting pretty much an all new kitchen.
Wow.
Are they staying open during this?
No,
or
well,
will
they always close for
Oh.
the month of January.
Okay,
And
so-
then they usually open February 1st, but this year it's gonna be more like February 5th or 6th. So, but you can still call and make your Valentine's Day reservation, which we did last year, so.
So is that construction's going on now?
It is going on right now,
Okay.
so the kitchen
Cool.
is under renovation and it's gonna be awesome for Ken, cause you know, you can imagine a kitchen after 15 years, right? Yeah.
Fantastic.
So,
Joe and I are gonna be away Valentine's together, so we're not gonna do it.
where are you guys gonna be?
They're taking
Is
hard-sided
that
luggage
the Mexico
somewhere.
trip?
Yeah.
Is that the crazy Mexico?
We're taking hard and long luggage somewhere.
Someplace.
I just wanna say, sorry if you,
Jimmy has something to say?
well, I was gonna talk about the Rockport for a second. Yesterday's news with Rockport, just wanna wish everyone,
Wish
hope they're
everybody-
doing well, and,
Yeah.
from the staff to the
It's
teachers
a
and
very,
everything.
it's a very sad thing.
Yeah, my daughter goes to Rockport,
She
so
does.
we flew in yesterday morning and got the news. So she opted not to go to school,
Today.
but this morning, you know, it was a tough ride for her.
Oh,
Trying to explain to her that
Yeah.
everything was gonna be okay. And she actually was concerned about the boy, and, you know, Dad, what do you think's gonna happen to him? I said, I don't know, sweetie, but,
Yeah.
you know, I feel bad for the parents.
For the parents
Oh,
of
yeah.
all of them.
All of them,
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
Cause there were a couple kids that witnessed it too, so.
Yeah.
Well, staff, teachers, everybody,
Yeah.
it's tough on everybody.
Nicole wrote me last night, she was up all night, cause she had the direct experience with it, cause
Oh, she did.
Thatcher was at school. And she wrote a long piece and she was struggling with the wording of it, she went back over it 50 million times she wanted to be very sensitive. But that post is up, she ended up hitting, she says it was the hardest thing she ever pressed the publish button on, but it's up on the blog.
Oh, is it? I gotta read that.
Yeah.
Does Finn goes to Rockport?
No, Thatch.
Thatcher goes to Rockport,
yeah.
My kids went to Rockport, it's a lovely, sweet,
Oh,
sweet
nice
school.
people, too.
Such a
Yeah,
nice
I mean,
people.
It happens everywhere, and
We have a lot of the East Gloucester, a lot of the kids in our East Gloucester neighborhood go
Yeah.
to Rockport. And
Just mind blowing.
Yeah.
you think you're.
Ripple effect, and it can happen anywhere, and so
Yeah,
we just have to support the people that
support
it's
everybody,
affected, yeah.
everybody.
Well,
Like,
you know-
I think like there tends to be like a lot of finger pointing and this, that, and the other thing,
No.
it's like this is the
Yeah,
last
last
time
time.
of the, everybody should just try to refrain from
Yeah.
that, cause no one really knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah, but you know what I would like to say is like, it's so much harder to get a gun in Massachusetts, and a child wants to strike out like that, if they have the opportunity to get a gun, it could have been a lot worse. It's so much harder to get a gun in Massachusetts than it is in many other states, so a knife does a lot less relative damage than, I'm just thinking of the big picture of how, why,
Oh.
knife versus gun and,
Yeah.
so.
We didn't mention this, but we're gonna end on this. Studio 1623, where we are right now, 11 Pleasant Street. They're having a chamber ribbon cutting January 16th at 4:30 p.m. Then they're having an after hours event here, which are always really fun, from 5 to 7 p.m. which
That's on the 16th.
Mm-hmm,
January 16th, and you'll be able to tour the place,
and everybody's
check out
happy.
what's available, everybody's invited. Great time to come and check the place out. That's GloucesterCast 373, thanks you guys for coming, we're gonna do a lot more stuff here, I love the studio, I hope
it's awesome.
people enjoyed the quality of the podcast. I like a little feedback on that after when we get done. But everybody have a great day, we'll see you
Bye.
soon.
Thanks.
See you soon.